Your first question is, please describe the knowledge, training, and experience that has prepared you to serve as a fire chief.
Thank you, Commissioner Greer. Yeah, the knowledge, training, and experience that I've had to be fire chief, I always like to say what I learned in the academy early on. I had a training officer that said, every day is an interview in the fire department, and also welcome to the University of Forever. And those two have really stuck with me because it's true. You can never stop learning and training and getting that experience. And so I think every day I've come to work, in a way, has been an interview. As I prepared, I've moved up the ranks in our organization. I've had the roles of firefighter, paramedic, apparatus engineer, and lieutenant. And importantly, too, moved up the leadership ranks of the union. And in that role, I've served as a principal officer for the last 7 years. And that's a leadership experience that even a graduate degree may not be able to buy you, because I've had an opportunity to be in the inner circle in the command staff, developing policies, programming, and operational plans, not just for the Madison Fire Department, but in my role, we also represent firefighters and EMTs across Dane County and 12 other fire and EMS departments. And I've had extensive roles in those committees in working with their chiefs, command staffs, councils, mayors, and including the mayor and the council in Madison. And so I really have loved the non-traditional leadership path that I've taken to be in this job. It really has prepared me and given me great knowledge, not only of how the fire department works, but also the behind the scenes stuff, like budgets, how to prepare a budget, in the realization too that funding is only so far. We have so many city departments fighting for those valuable dollars, and that no matter how worthy a program that you have, it may not be able to be funded. And so that takes planning. And that planning component is also a really important, cannot be underestimated. And as fire chief, I would make sure that we have the funds that we need and to plan it out, and to build a strategic plan that reflects not only the goals of the organization, which is first and foremost to save lives and property, and to do so equitably across the city, and to manage our growth. And so all those combined experiences, especially that union track, has really provided me a vast array of experience in multiple issues, especially outside in the county. It's really served me well as a proving ground. And my Rolodex of experience in establishing relationships and offering creative solutions to various problems, not just here in Madison, but again, around the county, has really given me an experience that I cherish and will really serve me well as Madison's fire chief.
Thank you. Second question is, what is your vision for the Madison Fire Department?
My vision for the Madison Fire Department is one where we look not only just our bread and butter, which is responding to fires and EMS, and we're a tremendous organization in that respect, but also to look for non-traditional ways to serve the public. And we're seeing that right now. We're seeing that play out. We started a community paramedic program a number of years ago, and what that allowed us to do is, when we had a lot of residents of Madison who were calling EMS frequently for various health problems. And these folks don't always have the resources, access to healthcare, transportation, funds, or understanding even how their Medicare works. And we saw a need there for extra care. And so what we did is, when we would identify frequent callers for 911, is we established that community paramedic program to go in and help people manage their health and not have to rely on emergency medical or the 911 system that frankly isn't set up to handle that, not in a way that should be. And that program has allowed people to thrive. And of course, our new CARES team, which is a mobile integrated health unit that responds to behavioral health and mental health emergencies. We just started that this year, and even right now, the demand for that service is outpacing our availability. And the importance of that program is because it provides our residents who are experiencing mental health or behavioral health emergency the right care at the right time, and try to avoid hospital admit if possible. And studies have shown across our peer departments across the country, Denver, Albuquerque, Eugene, Oregon, that reduces hospitalization by 50%. It eliminates the need for police presence. It frees up police resources, and it frees up fire trucks and ambulances that can respond to other emergencies. So it's really a win all the way around. And so my vision for the fire department to be expand those programs, and even look for new ways that we can use those programs. One interesting possibility is in the field of trauma-informed care. When we have neighborhoods in Madison that experience violence, murder, really catastrophic events for the community, studies have shown that increases the community's grieving. It increases anxiety, depression, absenteeism from work, from school, and it can lead to repeat violence. And a lot of these marginalized communities don't have access, the right access to mental health care. And so we have mental health workers, crisis workers on our CARES team and available. And we can deploy those out in the community to proactively provide them the support that they need to work through those mental traumas. And so I see that as an area of expansion. And then one of the things as fire chief, what I really want to create is really a community-centric fire department. And what I'm really passionate and excited about is to revamp our hiring program with a real keen focus on providing that social equity and economic equity and opportunity by giving fire department jobs to Madisonians who want to serve their city. And I think the best way we do that is to focus on our kids. And the Madison Metropolitan School District is very diverse. 60% of the kids are children of color. And if we can get into the schools now and develop with partnering with the Madison Metropolitan School District and our colleagues at Madison College, if we can start developing programs now to expose these kids and get them interested and excited for a career in fire EMS, hopefully right here in Madison, the whole community wins. And I can't see a better way to reinvest our tax dollars, our community resources, than giving those jobs back into the community, especially to communities of colors and marginalized groups that haven't historically considered a career in the Madison Fire Department. And these are great jobs. They're high-paying jobs. They're family-supporting jobs. It provides access to healthcare. It provides a lifelong pension. It provides access to a college degree. We have a tuition reimbursement program that you get hired on the fire department, we'll pay you to go to college, and then we'll pay you more when you graduate. So I see that as a real reinvestment into our community. And who better to serve in our neighborhoods than kids who grew up in those neighborhoods. And so I want to hire as many Madison kids, get them into firehouses and young adults someday as we can. And so I think that's a real area that we can improve on and really build that community centric fire service that our community deserves.
Thank you. If you are selected as the next chief, what are your priorities for the first year and the future?
That's an excellent question. My priorities for the first year, I'll be completely honest. It's going to be a lot of listening and a lot of learning. We have a good thing going right now, and I think as a brand new fire chief, which any of the finalists would be, is the first time fire chief, we have to do a lot of learning about what your role is in the organization, because it's a new role as fire chief. Fundamentally, it has changed, and your relationships have changed. Your relationship with the command staff, your relationship with the rank and file. I have a relationship right now in working in various city departments, city attorney's office, HR, finance, you name it. It's fundamental. Those relationships exist, but they will fundamentally be different. And we should be seeking out ways as fire chief to understand the city in a new way and in that role. And so that first year should be spent really learning. But I think there's also room in there to take the first steps at developing a strategic plan, conducting a staffing study which is really going to help us plan for the future. We haven't done one since 1999, and what that staffing study would do, it takes working with our planning department and our geographical information systems data. As we know that our city is growing, we need to start planning now to give the mayor and the council and community stakeholders fair warning and be able to budget, because we have a responsibility to not only provide our current service levels, but to expand. Madison's growing out, and we're also growing up. If you look at the isthmus, we have a lot more population density than we've ever had before. So it's setting those plans in place in that first year, and then I would hope by year 2 and 3 that, you know, developing that strategic plan. And what the strategic plan is that's the roadmap. Where do we want to go, and how do we want to get there, and how do we want to incorporate not just my vision of the fire department, but I think to make a strategic plan, you need to get buy-in and comment from the community, from other agencies, and from our own people. And I think it's very important that that work gets done, and it can take a long time. And you can't turn a ship on a dime, but you can start doing the work that you need to do. And so beyond that, when it comes time to implementing a strategic plan, we also need to be able to be adaptable. We need to be able to respond to the times and be able to answer any crisis that comes before me. And so, you know, no fire chief has all the answers, and I would never say to anyone that I would become the fire chief and automatically know how to do everything all at once and always be right. And that's just not realistic, and that's not the way we should do business. And so it's a real team effort. But I would like to see, like I spoke about earlier, really building a community centric fire department that promotes racial, social, and economic justice in our community, and that we're always on the cutting edge and looking for new ways to serve our citizens and get creative in doing that.
Thank you very much for your time this morning and this afternoon.
Thank you, Commissioner Greer, and thank you to the entire Police and Fire Commission for giving me this chance. And if you allow me 1 second to say to all of the citizens, residents of Madison, that the other 3 finalists, I've worked with them for 20 years. They're excellent fire officers, and the commission is going to have a hard time choosing, but the residents should know that whatever the choice is the right choice. And we're going to have an outstanding fire department with an outstanding leader at the end of this process.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.